The fast-moving Kincade Fire has forced even more evacuations in Sonoma County. Officials have given holdouts the hard out. Let's go live to KPIX 5's Wilson Walker with the latest there. Wilson, good morning.
Good morning, Devin. We are here on sort of the side of the valley. If you go out past the eastern edge of Healdsburg, you get the sort of rural interface where the valley hits the ridge, and that is where the fire descended and hit these properties. Now we're trying to figure out what this might have been. There's obviously some lumber stored here, and you can see the vehicles that's there. This clearly would have been a difficult place to defend in the conditions last night. When the winds picked up, they picked up really fast, and I mean really fast. It went from effectively just a light breeze at around 1 in the morning, and then sustained winds of 20 miles an hour within about 30 or 45 minutes. It happened really quickly. Katie Nielsen was showing you some of the other properties in this area that were destroyed by these flames, and it has been a sort of a generally southern move of the fire. You remember last night the focus was on the evacuation area pushing out towards the Pacific, and that sort of really striking map, and the thought that the fire would move westward. But here it's really been more of a southern direction. From my understanding, having watched the fire move down off that hill and through this area east of Healdsburg tonight, you can see there are still there's just a small army of firefighters out here on every street you can find, guarding the homes that have made it and trying to sort of move ahead with the flames as they creep along with the wind here. You were just discussing the evacuation orders stretching down to Santa Rosa. I think that may be the one thing that kind of caught people slightly by surprise in the overnight hours, that it wasn't that sort of across 101 fear, but more the southern direction that had people concerned. You talked about the traffic. We circled down towards Santa Rosa in maybe the last hour, and the southbound traffic was just about at a standstill by the time you get to, say, I don't know, close to Highway 12. That last bit was really crawling. And Devin, you asked who are the folks that are leaving? Well, there were still quite a few people up here. When I went through Healdsburg, at the height of the hard get out, when they were driving around shouting at people to leave, there were still plenty of folks throwing things in cars and bringing things out of the garage. So there were a lot of folks still up here. And I think in the overnight hours when the wind picked up, and you could see that red-orange glow out to the side of town, I think that was about the last straw for folks. And those are the folks you're looking at on the highway right now.
Wilson, there are more than 2,000 firefighters out there. You are right there with them. Can you get a good feel? Are things frantic? Do they feel like they have everything under control? What is the general sense there?
No, you know what? Considering the weather that was anticipated, and sure enough, it picked up fast and hard this morning. The preparation was pretty astounding. There were folks everywhere. They really had a game plan. We talked a lot this week about the pre-positioning of firefighters ahead of incidents to sort of try to get a handle on it. And the county supervisor mentioned this twice in the last couple days, that they've done this so many times. They have a game plan. Nothing at all. The opening, 12 hours of the wine country firestorm 2 weeks ago, that caught everyone by surprise. There was definitely some time for preparation, and I think that's what we're seeing this morning is preparation having gone a long way to being ready for this morning, frankly.
Broadly, Wilson, firefighters kind of have two goals. They want to save people and protect property. Often you can't get to the second until you've done the first. How has that balance been where you are?
Well, we certainly haven't seen any problems. I mentioned that there were people here. I haven't seen any frantic rescues or anything like that. I think it was just sort of the stragglers that were making their way out. Overnight, in the overnight hours along the 128 corridor, there's properties sort of staggered along that road. there was a crew at every single one of them. There was someone standing by every single building to make an effort to save, whatever structure it might be, and save the ones that were lost, just sort of in the height of it. I think there's going to be a lot of success stories out here for buildings that were saved.
All right, Wilson Walker at the fire line, thank you very much. Be safe.